Alright, so Botania just did a little update, and I'm not sure how much of this clip I'm going to use, but you can throw a potato in a mana pool now, and it makes this tiny potato. Oh, there's a little happy face. What does it do? I must know. Oh, it jumps up and down. And if I right-click it, nothing happens when I right-click it. But isn't it just adorable? Welcome back everyone to Modded Minecraft 1.7. I am Silent Chaos 512 and this is the 30th episode of this series. I never thought we'd get to episode 10. It's been a bit of a rocky one at times. We've had to start a new world 4 times really, and this world is actually called like V7 because I had a few that I didn't like the seed and discarded them. But originally this series was meant to be kind of a little preview of 1.7, but it's turned into so much more than that. And what I'm going to do in this episode is I'm going to run around and look at everything we've already built, explain it. So this will be everything we've done from like episode 11 to 29 in a nutshell. And I think this is going to be a pretty interesting episode, honestly. And I don't know how other people feel about that. People who have been keeping up with the series might find it kind of dull, but if you're just getting into it, this would be a good thing to catch you up to this point. So one thing I'm thinking of doing is maybe in the upper right corner up here, I'm going to be putting clips of previous episodes and just kind of maybe show some stuff. So first, I think I'll talk about some of the previous worlds I've had. The first one lasted 1 episode. And that's, I mean, I could have kept the same world, but I added the millionaire mod at that point and decided to start over. And I believe I used the same seed, I don't know. Then I had that world for 1, maybe 2 episodes, I think. I think it was just 1 episode. Started having trouble with the millionaire mod. It was giving me all sorts of weird errors, so I removed it. And then started a new world, and I think that was the one before this one. And that lasted us until episode 10. And eventually it got to the point where I couldn't load it up anymore. It would just start getting slower and slower. Chunks would stop loading, and then the world just died on me. I had backups, but I didn't know what was causing the problem, so I decided to start fresh, and this is what we've got now. It's lasted a whopping 18 episodes, and I expect it'll give us plenty more episodes. And if not, we'll just start over, probably install Biomes of Plenty, and have more fun. So let's begin. I don't know where exactly I spawned. I did a recap episode in my first Minecraft Let's Play, which had 31 episodes, and I recapped on 30. And I showed where I spawned, but I don't remember where it was here. It was somewhere in the forest nearby, not too far from this area. So the first thing I did was I made this house over here. And one thing I forgot to show, I am flying with these dragon wings. It's the angel ring item. And this is what I look like normally. I've had a skin update since I started playing this, so this is what I look like now. Let's maybe get a nice screenshot of some of the crazy stuff we've got going on here. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Just take a couple. If I don't like them, I'll take another one. So this was our first house, and it's got some stuff in it. It didn't have in it originally, of course, and I originally had 4 chests here, which I was using to store all my stuff. I put these BiblioCraft labels on them to show what categories each one belonged to. So I would say, oh, I need miscellaneous items right here, or I need plants right here. And I moved all these chests up with the dolly and put them in an AE system, and the labels stay in place. They don't have any hitbox, so I just left them here. because it's kind of funny. Alright, and before we show any more of the house, the next thing I built was this farm. And it wasn't this big originally. It was originally just one pad, I think, maybe two. Now we've got 8 pads, just a little bit of everything. Potatoes, carrots, wheat, fluffy puffs, and ender lilies, which are the latest addition, of course, for the most part. The fluffy puffs are from the Silence Gems mod, which I made. I started working on it, I don't know when it was. It was in Minecraft 1.5, and these things are a relatively recent addition, so you can see the localization on them is still messed up. And been having trouble fixing that. Actually, I haven't tried that hard. But these things produce an item which can be used for making string, wool, and feathers. So it's a nice alternative to having sheep and chickens if you're having trouble finding them. The seeds for them, which are just the regular items which are used for crafting, just drop from the grass. You break the grass, and they're about 10 times more rare than wheat seeds, I believe. So I believe the next thing I set up was the chicken farm. I don't know exactly. So this is pretty basic setup. I just started with a fenced-in area originally. I had a double thick fence, which kept the chickens in, but they got stuck on the inner fence. And we have a dispenser and redstone clock set up here, and if you turn this lever off, it will fire whatever's in the dispenser, and there's enough of a delay to not hit the chicks that hatch on this wall with another egg and cause them to panic or get knocked out. And I've actually got a barrel full of eggs right here, and there's a hopper hawk here, which is absolutely my favorite block from Botania that I've played with so far. It picks up all items in the area and puts them in adjacent chests. So this one was for random stuff, and this is where it put all the eggs, and then it got piped to a barrel or the dispenser at one point. Okay, so what did we build next? I'm not sure. I think it was the blood altar. Which, oh, the skeleton's trying to shoot me, but he's hitting the zombie instead. So the stuff on the top here, I built later, but I'm pretty sure I built the blood altar first. And it's just kind of a standard blood altar here. It's only a tier 3 right now, I think. I haven't messed with blood magic too much. After that, I think... what did I build first? I guess it doesn't really matter that much. I think I built this first. This was originally meant to hold chickens. And you can see I've got the redstone clock and dispenser set up. And I put a barrel entirely full of eggs on this thing and let it throw every single one. Ended up with, I think, a couple hundred chickens in here. And this is really evil what this does. If I push this button here, you can see it open a door and put out some water streams, and that chicken is kindly demonstrating how it kind of works. It's a little broken, but you can see I've got an arcane levitator here. It takes you up into this funnel, and this is actually a dangerous place to be now. Oh. Okay, well, he was in the water, so it didn't do any damage. But, yeah, this thing on top here, this big bulky thing, was originally not here. And I called this thing the chicken faucet because it kind of looks like a giant faucet. It just sent the chickens up and poured them down onto the blood altar, and I sacrificed a ton of them and made the magician blood orb that way. You know what, skeleton? Take that. No, his zombie instead. Okay, well, I might as well put my armor back on. Okay, so this thing on the top. This thing doesn't work quite as well as I had hoped it would, and maybe I can get in here and show it. Oh, creepers, no! Okay, well, I broke it a little bit. That's okay. I actually need to fix that. I'll just do it in creative mode really quickly here. I'm sorry. No, don't burn. Don't want you to burn. So yeah, this is a just a little mob farm based on cursed earth. The mobs will spawn very quickly on cursed earth. I don't know what the exact rules on it are, but this thing seems a little slow, and sometimes doesn't really work if I'm not close enough. So, did I get everything back? I think I'm okay here. And basically, it's just kind of a standard mob farm design here. This little thing down here that looks so stupid is what I call the adapter. It just converts it from a 2x2 to a 1x1. Okay, let's seal that up and get out of creative mode here. So I basically just hooked that straight into the faucet because that made sense. Okay, over here, this is something I created in, I think it's one of my most viewed episodes. It's a PneumaticCraft greenhouse. So basically I've just got all the different types of PneumaticCraft plants, and why is this row broken? I don't know. Basically, these plants some of them will spread themselves and produce new seeds, and this hopper hawk picks them up. And the Bellathorn will kill any mobs that the squid plants or slime plants spawn, so that's why there's so many slime balls and ink sacs in here. And it's killed a few other things that have wandered close by. And out here I've got a little mana pool and some day blooms that are providing power to the hopper hawk and Bellathorn to make them to improve their range, basically. Well, actually, I don't know if that affects the Bellathorn's range or not. So this is my starting Botania setup. I originally had those 8 Endoflames over here, but I moved them over there to get that portal open, and it's run out of mana already. Go away, zombie. And the beacon is for crafting terra steel, which I've only made a total of 2 ingots of, just enough to get that portal running. Okay, what else is there? Oh, before we get to the main base, let's just show off the little pet cemetery. I like the way this turned out. I originally just had the little graves here where I bury my pets, and I'll get to the pets mod if you haven't heard of it in just a minute. It's a new mod that I'm working on, still in an early alpha stage, but I've kept track of which ones have been killed and what they've been killed by. I don't know what Mao Zedong was killed by. I think he sat on a crucible and just kind of burned up. I don't know. And yes, they are all named after communists at this point. Well, actually, there's one exception, but he's still alive. And got a couple of Carpenter's blocks here in this little arch, but I don't like how they're colored differently. And these painted fences are from Ender.io. They're really cool. Alright, so what else is there? Oh, I've got this little golem tree farm, which is kind of unnecessary at this point. It's made a lot of charcoal for me, and I don't really have any use for it at this point. So, probably need to shut this thing off at some... eventually. Ah, here's the nether portal. I almost forgot about this. Why do I have fence gates there? I don't have a clue. It's been so long since I've been here. Right, I think everything I've built pretty much has been in this area. And we've covered everything on the ground. This feels like it's gone by quicker than I expected. I didn't start a timer. Okay, so let's go back into the house. And there's actually 2 levels below. This one only has an infernal furnace in it, which I used a long time ago. I guess not that long ago. And the one below it you can only get to by this teleporter. It's PneumaticCraft. I haven't really done much with this mod either. Alright, and now, let's see, I've got some basic Mystcraft stuff. I've spawned a couple of ages. Mostly, I was having trouble finding limestone. Alright, so let's go up. Here's the first floating platform I built out of the 2. And, oh, there's the tiny potato. I haven't seen you today. It's actually, the first clip I recorded was actually a day or 2 ago. Got some basic Thaumcraft stuff. I haven't really done much with it on this world. And it's pretty much all that's left on this floor. I've torn down a lot of stuff. Here's my diamond armor that I used to fight the Wither. It's got all level 30 enchantments on it. Here's the Witherbane. It's a Smite 5 sword. Supercharged Onyx sword. Has the highest attack damage out of any sword in my mod. And there's my Thaumcraft stuff. Okay, let's go up here. This is the latest platform that I've built. It's I've started messing with Ender IO here. I only added it 2 episodes ago because I originally thought the mod did something different than what it does. I didn't know it was a tech mod for some reason. I don't know how I managed to get that wrong, but I did, and now it's finally in, and it's a really cool mod. I love how you can put the conduits all in one block space. So just got 2 capacitor banks here, so that's a total of, what is it, 10 million RF that it can store. We don't have thermal expansion, but it uses RF. Got the applied Energistics system here. Just got a ton of 1K drives. It's all good enough for what I'm doing here. Just got pretty much everything except for tools and some random items, which I've got in this chest instead. And here's the new oil refinery setup. It's significantly more compact than the old setup, which I will likely be showing in the corner right about now. It just kind of depends on if I can find a good clip or not. And oh, this drum is full, isn't it? I actually need to put down another fluid duct, don't I? Or not fluid duct, fluid conduit. And my wrench is probably here. Okay, get your fuel fixed. There we go. Oh, I'm actually almost out of oil. Alright, and the assembly table's not hooked up, and I think at this point I've shown everything in my world. So I guess I could go ahead and recap the 2 mods that I've made that are in this pack. And the sun's just coming up, how appropriate. So NEI subsets work now. So we've got Silence Gems and Silence Pets. Probably not the most creative names in the world, but that's what I've got. Silence Gems is the one I've been working on since 1.5. It adds 12 gemstones you can mine to the world. You can make tools out of all of them. They have some different stats, which you can see by holding shift over them. You can see they have different durabilities, mining speeds, and attack damage. And the supercharged gems are just upgraded versions. And I've got a few miscellaneous tools here and there. Let me see. These rods, I don't know if I'm going to use those or not. Or what were they called? Fancy sticks. Yeah, it's just experimental stuff. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Okay, got a few food items here. Sugar cookies are pretty good early on because they give you haste so you can mine faster. This meaty stew is what I'm using. It restores 6 hunger bars. Torch bandolier will always be one of my favorites. It stores 1024 torches and can place them like so. Very handy to have, especially if you like caving a lot like I do. Let's see, return home. That description's kind of bugged. I need to fix that. You can right click on a teleporter and it will link it to that teleporter, and if you use it, kind of looks like a bow when you use it. You have to hold it, and when you let go it will teleport you back to that teleporter no matter where you are. Then we got items for summoning in a tamed cat and a tamed dog. Very handy. And the enchantment tokens are one way you can choose to enchant my tools if you don't want to take a chance on the enchanting table. The chaos gems are kind of like potions that you can turn on and off. You can give them a variety of different effects, and I've actually got one laying around here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right here. This has Strength 2 and Regeneration 2, so if I right click, I've got those 2 potion effects, and it is draining its charge, and if I turn it off, it will recharge it. So it's kind of like a potion with a cooldown. And then we've got all the tools, lots and lots of tools. And that's my debug item. I think right now it still does the same thing it's always done. It just makes you hungry when you use it. And then all the sickles are kind of in a weird spot because they were added later on. And they're actually broken in this version. Whenever their durability depletes, they have a good chance of not breaking. And then you can continue to use them forever as long as you don't break something like a dirt block with them. Okay, on to the pets mod, and I finally added textures for some of the stuff here. First thing you have to do for this mod is to go around and kill a lot of stuff and get this raw pet essence. Then you can use it to craft the regular pet essence, which is used for crafting the pet summoners. And you use these kind of like a spawn egg. They will summon in the pet of your choice. And this pig letter you get from killing pigs. I'm not sure if I want to keep that or not. And I've actually got a couple of pets up here, and they don't have sitting animations, but when you right click to tell them to sit or follow you, they will pick from a random list of messages that they could possibly say and put it in chat, kind of like they're talking to you, which I think is pretty cool. And they're mostly just like a wolf as far as their AI goes. So you can see there's some different messages here. So we've got Castro. And we've got Larry, who's maybe not a communist. I don't know. Are pink sheep usually communist? They might be. But me and Larry go way, way back to when I was playing vanilla. And I made these little farms. They were like elevated platforms that were walled in. And no, I don't have a video of that or anything. That was ages ago before I was doing YouTube. And I had a pen full of pigs, and then a sheep got into it somehow. It like walked up on a cliff and fell off into the pen. So I dyed in pink, and on the sign on the side of the little mob pen that said pigs, I took it down and wrote pigs and Larry the sheep. And that was before name tags, so you couldn't really name mobs back then. So we had Larry the pink sheep, and he's made a couple of other appearances, or at least one appearance in my first Minecraft series. Maybe I'll be showing that in the corner, I don't know. So, instead of a regular sheep, though, Larry's a pet sheep, as you can see, and he's very hungry, apparently. And one cool thing about the pets is that when they die, they actually have a death message that displays in the chat, and I could give myself one and kill it, but that would be so cruel. Okay, there's actually 2 more items here. The pet wand, I'm thinking this will be for like more advanced AI commands, and currently the only thing you can do with it right now is you can check and remove a pet's armor. You can actually give them armor to protect them. And here's the one I have right now. It currently has 3 modes on it, but this is the only one that works. There's talk mode, carry mode, which may or may not get used, and armor mode. So let's see, Larry has no armor. Castro is wearing a diamond helmet. I could take that diamond helmet. Oh look, it's enchanted. Give it back to him. It's got a diamond helmet again. And you can only give them helmets, but that counts as a full suit of armor for their armor value. So this guy, he could probably take quite a bit of beatings. So I'm too scared to hit him with my axe, but I'll hit him with the pick. Only half a heart. Wow. Yeah, that's some powerful armor there. And this is +9 attack damage. Wow. Maybe the equivalent of a full suit of armor is overkill. I don't know. But if you remember over at the pet graveyard, the first 2, which were sheep, they both got killed by a wither boss. I actually took them with me to fight a wither, which was kind of pointless because they couldn't attack the wither, but they actually both survived the first wither fight, and they had diamond armor on. And oh, you followed me. Okay. But the second one killed, I can't remember, I think it was Rasputin that died first, and then Stalin. Okay, well, I don't know how long this episode is, but I think I've talked about everything there is. Oh, wait, I've got one more item. The nameplate, it's basically a reusable name tag. So you can just keep renaming it, reusing it, and so on and so forth. It does cost a bit more to rename it multiple times. I might be able to find a fix for that, I don't know. But alright, I think we're all done here. Oh, are my crystals ready? Yep. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it was entertaining. I always have a lot of fun going back over the stuff that I've done already and kind of recapping it. That's something I'd like to do every 30th episode. If this series gets to 60 episodes, I'll probably do the same thing, depending on how it all goes. So, thank you for watching. Don't forget you can subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. Leave a like or a comment on this one if you want to. Up to you, I don't really care. Well, I do appreciate every like I get, but once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.